as the morning sun cast long shadows across the tarmac. A rookie soldier, Private Miller stood guard at the main gate of the highly classified SEAL Team 6 base. It was his first day, and his crisp uniform felt stiff, his rifle a heavy, unfamiliar weight in his hands. He was determined to make a good impression, to follow every rule to the letter. His orders was simple. No one gets through this gate without proper authorization. No exceptions. He scanned the long, empty road leading to the base, his heart thumping with a mix of nerves and pride. This was it, the front line of defending the nation's most elite warriors. A few hours into his shift, a sleek, unassuming black sedan rolled to a stop just before the barrier. The window glided down, revealing a woman in her early 30s. She wore simple civilian clothes, a plain t-shirt, and Jean Sander hair was tied back in a practical ponytail. A pair of sunglasses rested on her head. She offered Miller a polite, unassuming smile. Miller, puffing his chest out slightly, straightened his posture and approached the car with the authority he'd practiced in the mirror all morning. He felt a surge of importance. This was his first real test. "Ma'am, state your name and purpose for visiting the base," he said, his voice a little shakier than he would have liked. The woman's smile didn't falter. "Good morning, Private. I'm here for the 0900 briefing." Miller consulted his clipboard, his brow furrowed. He ran his finger down the short list of expected visitors. Her name wasn't there. He looked back at her, his expression hardening. "I'm sorry, ma'am, but your name is not on the authorized entry list for today. I can't let you pass." He felt a small thrill of power. He was doing his job, just like he was trained. The woman chuckled softly, a sound that seemed to hold no malice, only a hint of amusement. "There might be a mistake. Can you check again?" "The name is Commander Thorne." Miller's eyes narrowed. "Commander." This woman. She didn't look like any commander he'd ever seen in the recruitment posters. Where was the uniform, the stern expression, the aura of command? He glanced at the list again, more deliberately this time. "No, Commander Thorne." He shook his head firmly. "Negative, ma'am. No one by that name is on my list. Without proper clearance, this is as far as you go." She sighed, but her calm demeanor remained intact. "Private, I assure you, I need to be at that briefing. It's important." The understatement in her voice was lost on Miller. All he saw was someone trying to bend the rules. "Everyone's business is important, ma'am. Rules are rules. I could lose my post for letting an unauthorized civilian onto this base." He stood his ground, gripping his rifle a little tighter, feeling like a true guardian of the gate. He was protecting the most lethal fighting force on the planet from a potential security breach. He was a hero in the making. Just then, a hardened, gravelly voice cut through the air. "Miller, what in the world do you think you're doing?" Master Chief Sullivan, a living legend within the SEALs and the man in charge of base security, was striding towards them, his face a thundercloud. Miller's blood ran cold. He snapped to attention, his back ramrod straight. "Master Chief, this civilian is attempting to gain unauthorized access to the base. I've denied her entry as per protocol, sir." He felt a surge of pride, certain he was about to be commended for his vigilance. He had followed his orders perfectly. Sullivan stopped beside the car, ignoring Miller completely. He leaned down and spoke to the woman, his voice, which was usually a terrifying bark, now filled with a level of respect Miller had never heard before. "Commander Thorne, my sincerest apologies. I was just on my way to meet you. We weren't expecting you for another 30 minutes. Please, come through. I'll escort you personally." He then turned to the frozen private, and the thunder returned to his face, tenfold. "Miller, do you have any idea who you were just holding up?" Miller's mouth went dry. He could only shake his head, his mind struggling to process what was happening. The woman, Commander Thorne, simply gave him another small, patient smile as the Master Chief raised the barrier himself. "Private," she said, her voice gentle but carrying an undeniable weight of authority. "It's good to see our new recruits are so diligent. Keep up the good work." With that, she drove through the gate, Sullivan jogging to keep pace and lead her towards the main command building. Miller stood paralyzed, watching the car disappear. His radio crackled to life. It was Sullivan. "Miller, get your backside to my office." Now, the walk across the base felt like a mile. Every SEAL he passed seemed to be smirking at him. When he entered the Master Chief's office, Sullivan was standing with his arms crossed. "Son," he began, his voice dangerously low. "Do you know what Cobra stands for? It's the code name for the commander of this entire facility. The person who leads not just this base, but all of SEAL Team 6. The one who signs my paycheck. The one who signs your paycheck." Millet felt the floor drop out from under him. He could only stare, horrified. Sullivan continued, "That woman you just held at the gate for 10 minutes, interrogating her like a common trespasser, is Commander Evelyn Thorne. Codename, Cobra. She founded this unit. She handpicked most of the operators on this base. She's forgotten more about special operations than you will ever learn. And you ... you ask her for her ID." Sullivan let the words hang in the air, the silence more damning than any shouting could ever be. Miller wished the ground would swallow him whole. He had stopped the shark from entering the ocean. "You were following your orders, Miller," Sullivan finally said, his tone softening just a fraction. "And for that, you won't be washing dishes for the next 6 months. But let this be your first and most important lesson here. Learn to recognize who is in charge. True authority doesn't always wear a uniform." He pointed a thick finger at Miller. Commander Thorne thought it was funny. "She appreciated your commitment to the rules. You're lucky. Very lucky. Now get back to that gate, and the next time you see her, you will snap the sharpest salute of your life. Do you understand me?" "Yes, Master Chief," Miller choked out, his voice barely a whisper. He practically ran back to his post, his face burning with a mix of shame and utter terror. He now understood. He had just denied entry to the single most powerful person on the base. He just prayed he wouldn't see that black sedan again. The story of the rookie who blocked Cobra spread through the base like wildfire, becoming an instant legend. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more.